There are some moments in the world of entertainment that feel bigger than the event itself, moments when a simple gesture suddenly seems to carry an emotional weight that no stage light, camera flash, or carefully prepared appearance can completely hide. And that is exactly the kind of moment surrounding Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei after a striking claim began capturing attention. Zhang Linghe had gifted Tian Xiwei a pair of limited edition Puma sneakers at a Greater China event. On the surface, it sounds like a fashion-related gesture, something connected to a major brand appearance, a special release, or the excitement surrounding an important industry gathering. But once the names Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei are placed inside the same story, even the smallest gesture can become the center of intense curiosity. A gift is never just a gift when millions of eyes are watching, especially when the people involved already have a powerful on-screen history and a chemistry that fans have spent countless hours discussing, analyzing, and celebrating. The idea of Zhang Linghe personally giving Tian Xiwei something rare and limited instantly creates a question that is almost impossible to ignore. What made that particular gift so meaningful, and what was going through their minds in that moment? Imagine the atmosphere surrounding a major Greater China event, with cameras moving through a sea of celebrities, fashion representatives, industry guests, photographers, and fans waiting for something unexpected to happen. The environment would naturally be filled with excitement, polished appearances, luxury fashion, brand imagery, and the constant sound of cameras capturing every movement. In a setting like that, attention can shift in a fraction of a second. A glance can become a headline. A smile can become a viral clip. A small interaction can dominate online discussions long after the event has ended. And then comes the detail that changes everything. A pair of limited edition Puma sneakers, presented as a gift from Zhang Linghe to Tian Xiwei. Suddenly, the sneakers are no longer simply footwear. They become the object at the center of a story that fans immediately want to understand. Why those sneakers? Why that moment? Why Tian Xiwei? And most importantly, was the gesture simply a thoughtful expression between two colleagues and friends, or did it carry a deeper personal meaning that only the two of them truly understood? What makes the story especially fascinating is the symbolism of giving someone something connected to movement. Sneakers are designed to take people somewhere. They represent journeys, energy, freedom, confidence, and the road ahead. A limited edition pair adds another layer because something rare is naturally more personal when it is deliberately chosen for someone else. Even without assuming anything beyond the reported gesture itself, there is something emotionally interesting about Zhang Linghe giving Tian Xiwei an item that combines fashion with individuality. It is not merely a random object placed into someone's hands. It is something that can be worn, remembered, photographed, and associated with a specific moment in time. Years from now, if those sneakers were ever seen again, they could instantly bring back the atmosphere of that event, the people who were there, the cameras flashing, and the moment when the gift changed an ordinary brand interaction into something fans could not stop talking about. And perhaps that is why this story has such a magnetic quality. Fans are naturally drawn to moments that appear spontaneous because polished entertainment events are usually filled with carefully planned schedules. Celebrities know where to stand, when to smile, when to walk, and where the cameras are positioned. Yet gifts have a different emotional texture. A gift suggests thought. It suggests that someone considered another person's preferences, style, personality, or interests. Even if the gesture was entirely friendly, it can still feel meaningful because giving something to another person creates a moment of connection. When the person giving the gift is Zhang Linghe and the person receiving it is Tian Xiwei, that connection naturally becomes something fans want to examine from every possible angle. Their history together has already created a strong emotional association for viewers, and that means even a simple exchange can feel loaded with memories from the characters they have portrayed and the moments audiences have witnessed. The limited edition aspect makes the story even more intriguing. There is something naturally captivating about an item that cannot simply be picked up anywhere at any time. Limited editions carry a sense of exclusivity. They are designed to feel special, and when one becomes part of a personal exchange between two highly followed stars, the emotional value can become greater than the retail value of the object itself. For Tian Xiwei, receiving such a pair from Zhang Linghe could represent a memorable souvenir from a major event. For fans, however, the sneakers become a visual symbol of a moment they desperately want to understand. Was there a smile when the gift was presented? Was Tian Xiwei surprised? Did Zhang Linghe appear nervous, playful, relaxed, or completely natural? Was the exchange quick, almost hidden among the crowd, or was it something people around them could clearly notice? Those tiny details are the kind of things that can transform a simple story into a moment that fans replay again and again. There is also something deeply human about the possibility of being given a thoughtful present in a room full of people. Public events can be overwhelming. The lights are bright, the schedules are demanding, and every movement can be observed. In such an environment, a personal gesture can briefly create a private feeling inside a very public place. For a few seconds, the enormous event surrounding two celebrities may disappear, leaving only the giver, the receiver, and the object being exchanged between them. That contrast is powerful. Thousands of people may be watching, but the emotional meaning of a gift belongs primarily to the people involved. No camera can fully capture intention. No photograph can completely explain what someone was feeling. A smile can show happiness without revealing why. A glance can suggest familiarity without proving anything beyond that moment. And that uncertainty is exactly what keeps the imagination alive. For fans of Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei, this kind of moment can feel especially significant because their connection has always been surrounded by intense public interest. The names together immediately remind viewers of the chemistry that made their screen appearances so memorable. Their interactions have inspired countless conversations because audiences often become emotionally invested in performers who make fictional relationships feel convincing. But there is an important difference between screen chemistry and real life, and that distinction makes moments like this even more fascinating. A gift does not automatically prove romance. A thoughtful gesture does not confirm a relationship. A shared smile does not reveal someone's private feelings. Yet none of that removes the emotional appeal of the moment. Fans can appreciate the sweetness of a gesture without pretending to know what exists behind closed doors. Perhaps the most beautiful interpretation is also the simplest one. Zhang Linghe wanted Tian Xiwei to have something special. Maybe he noticed the sneakers and thought they suited her. Maybe the limited edition design reminded him of her style. Maybe the gift was connected directly to the event itself. Maybe it was simply a spontaneous act of kindness between two people who share a familiar professional connection. There are countless possibilities, and without verified details about the circumstances, it would be impossible to say which one explains the moment. But that uncertainty does not make the story less interesting. In many ways, it makes it more intriguing, because the unanswered questions are what keep people looking closer. Now imagine Tian Xiwei receiving the sneakers and realizing that the item was not something ordinary. A limited edition pair can immediately create surprise because the recipient knows that someone deliberately selected something uncommon. Perhaps there was a moment of laughter, perhaps a grateful smile, perhaps a playful reaction that only lasted a few seconds. Those small emotional responses are often more memorable than grand speeches because they feel less rehearsed. A gift does not require a long explanation. Sometimes the object itself communicates the message, "I saw this, I thought of you, and I wanted you to have it." Whether that message was purely friendly, professional, or something more personal is something only the people involved could truly define. And then there is the fascinating possibility that the sneakers themselves become part of the shared history. Imagine seeing Tian Xiwei wearing them at some later moment, and suddenly fans remembering the story behind them. An ordinary fashion choice can become a memory because people attach stories to objects. A dress worn at an important event, a bracelet exchanged between friends, a photograph taken on a particular day, or a pair of shoes received as a gift can all become symbols of a specific chapter in someone's life. That is why celebrity gifts attract so much attention. Fans are not necessarily interested in the material object itself. They are interested in the story attached to it. The Puma connection adds another layer because the event places fashion, celebrity culture, and personal interaction in the same space. A major sportswear brand can create an environment where style and personality become part of the spectacle. Zhang, Linghe and Tian Xiwei appearing in such a setting naturally draws attention because both possess strong fashion visibility and enormous fan interest. But when the story shifts from what they wore to what one of them gave the other, the narrative becomes more intimate. Instead of simply observing two celebrities participating in an event, fans are suddenly watching a personal exchange unfold against the backdrop of a massive public occasion. That contrast can be emotionally powerful. The larger the event becomes, the smaller a private gesture can feel, and sometimes that is precisely why it stands out. When everyone is dressed for cameras and surrounded by brand logos, the most memorable image might not be a dramatic pose or a spectacular entrance. It might be a simple moment when one person hands something to another. There is something almost cinematic about that. The crowd continues moving, cameras continue flashing, music continues playing, yet for a brief moment, attention narrows to one exchange. And of course, once fans notice something like that, the internet does what it always does. The moment becomes a puzzle. People begin searching for every available detail, comparing images, discussing reactions, wondering about timing, and trying to understand what happened before and after the exchange. Some fans will see nothing more than a sweet friendship. Others may interpret the gesture as unusually thoughtful. Some may connect it to their shared projects and history. Others will simply enjoy the excitement of seeing two beloved stars connected through a memorable moment. Different interpretations can coexist without turning speculation into fact. That distinction matters because celebrity stories can easily become larger than the evidence supporting them. A beautiful moment does not need an invented explanation to be meaningful. Sometimes the most compelling story is the one that leaves room for mystery. Zhang Linghe giving Tian Xiwei a limited edition pair of Puma sneakers is already enough to create curiosity. There is no need to manufacture secret conversations or private emotions that nobody outside the two people involved could know. The real fascination comes from watching how a simple gesture can touch the imagination of so many people. What makes it even more emotionally resonant is the idea of being remembered in a crowded world. Celebrities meet hundreds of people, attend countless events, and move through an endless cycle of appearances. In that environment, a thoughtful gesture can feel like a small act of recognition. To receive something chosen specifically for you can create the feeling that, amid all the noise and pressure, someone noticed you as an individual. That is a universal emotion, and perhaps that is why viewers respond so strongly to stories like this. Behind the fame, the designer clothes, the cameras, and the enormous online following are still human beings capable of surprising one another, making each other laugh, and creating memories. There is also a subtle emotional tension in the fact that the gift happened at a public event. Public affection and private affection are completely different things, and celebrities live in the complicated space between them. Every gesture can be photographed. Every expression can be analyzed. Every interaction can become a trending topic. That means even a simple act of kindness can carry unexpected consequences. Zhang Linghe may have viewed the gift as a natural gesture, while fans may have experienced it as a major moment. Tian Xiwei may have simply appreciated the present, while viewers may have spent hours discussing what it meant. The difference between intention and interpretation is one of the most fascinating parts of celebrity culture. And perhaps that is why this story refuses to feel ordinary. It is not really about a pair of sneakers. It is about attention. It is about memory. It is about the emotional meaning people attach to small gestures when they come from someone who matters to them. It is about how a few seconds at a major event can become a memory that fans carry long after the lights disappear. The sneakers simply happen to be the object through which that moment becomes visible. For Zhang Linghe, the gesture may represent nothing more complicated than generosity and thoughtfulness. For Tian Xiwei, it may simply be a memorable gift from an important day. For fans, however, it becomes a moment to celebrate because it feels warm in a world where celebrity interactions can often seem distant and carefully managed. There is something refreshing about seeing a gesture that appears personal enough to make people pause. Whether the meaning is friendship, professional closeness, mutual appreciation, or something known only to them, the emotional reaction is real for the people watching. And as the story continues to circulate, one question will probably remain at the heart of the fascination: what did that moment actually feel like for them? Not what fans imagine, not what social media assumes, not what rumors suggest, but what Zhang Linghe felt when he decided to give the sneakers, and what Tian Xiwei felt when she received them. Those answers belong to them. Yet perhaps that is what makes the moment so captivating. Some memories are beautiful precisely because they are not completely explained. A limited edition sneaker can be purchased, photographed, displayed, or worn. But the moment attached to it cannot be bought. That moment exists only once. The room, the lights, the people, the atmosphere, the excitement, the surprise, the smile, and the exchange all come together for a few seconds and then disappear. What remains is the memory. And when two stars with such a strong emotional connection in the eyes of their audience are involved, even that small memory can become something enormous. So when fans look at this reported gift, perhaps the most meaningful thing is not trying to force it into a romantic story or dismiss it as meaningless. Perhaps it is simply worth appreciating for what it represents: a thoughtful gesture between two people whose names have become deeply connected in the hearts of viewers. Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei have created moments that audiences remember, and now the image of limited edition Puma sneakers passing from one to the other adds another intriguing piece to that ever-growing collection of memories. Maybe the sneakers will become a favorite pair. Maybe they will remain a keepsake from an unforgettable event. Maybe years from now, the significance of that moment will be clearer. Or maybe it will always remain a small, sweet mystery shared by two people who happened to create an unforgettable moment in front of the world. But that uncertainty is not a weakness. It is the heartbeat of the story. Because sometimes the moments that stay with us are not the loudest ones. They are the quiet gestures hidden inside the noise. A gift, a smile, a surprised expression, a brief exchange that lasts only seconds but somehow feels larger than the entire event surrounding it. And if Zhang Linghe really did place those limited edition Puma sneakers into Tian Xiwei's hands at that Greater China event, then regardless of what anyone believes the gesture meant, one thing is certain: it created a moment people wanted to remember. And perhaps that is the real magic behind this story. Not the brand name, not the limited edition, not the cameras, not even the endless speculation. It is the simple human emotion at the center of it all. Someone gave something special to someone else, and for a moment, the enormous world of celebrity culture became surprisingly personal. The event may have ended, the lights may have faded, and the crowd may have moved on, but the image of that thoughtful gesture continues to spark curiosity. What looked like a simple pair of sneakers suddenly became a symbol of connection, memory, and possibility. And somewhere beyond all the headlines, comments, theories, and camera flashes, the true meaning of that gift remains where it has always belonged, between the two people who shared the moment. Maybe it was friendship, maybe it was appreciation, maybe it was simply a spontaneous act of kindness. Whatever the answer may be, the mystery is part of what makes the moment unforgettable. Because when Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei are involved, even the smallest gesture can make an entire audience stop, look closer, and wonder what might be hiding inside those few precious seconds.